Hey, thanks for watching 4 Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and back with another haul video. But before I do that, I want to mention about 3 weeks ago I did a affordable first with Die Kamikaze issue 1, and there's issue 1, the second print variant cover. They have just since then. There's been some announcement of some either cartoon or movie. I'm not sure. I don't always pay attention to those things, but I did notice that Key Collector had it up, and I looked on eBay, and the prices that they're asking for them have gone up to the 20s. And so there may still be some cheap ones you can get out there. So I'm just a public service announcement. Seek one out while you got the time, and because who knows what'll happen to them from here. They may go right back down, or they might go up. It just kind of depends upon the project. You can hunt up the information on the project yourself, but I just thought I'd mention that to you. All right. Went to another vintage stock in Tulsa last weekend that I hadn't been to in quite some time. In fact, a week ago tomorrow is when I went. But before I get to that, because I did get some nice firsts, I want to mention something I forgot to mention that I picked up from Comic Empire a few weeks ago, and that was something that Kenny Hooker, the owner-operator of Comic Empire of Tulsa, told me about that I didn't even realize was a thing. I'm a big Nexus fan, big Baron and Rude Nexus fan, and what this is a. Let me get the date of the publication. It's a collection, 2021. This is Nexus, the newspaper strips, Volume 1. Who knew? I never knew that they were even. I don't even know what. I haven't even cracked this baby open yet. I will, but I haven't yet. But I never even knew that there was a Nexus newspaper strip, and I don't know where it ran, what papers it ran in, but just beautiful color reproductions. Of course, again, Steve Rude art, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And see if I can find a nice something to maybe make as a banner for this video. Let's see if I can hold that really still. We'll see. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But just really cool stuff. Beautiful. If you're a Nexus fan, go get it. I mean, very cool stuff. This should be the subject, and it may be the subject one day of a bookshelf bounty, which I haven't done one in a while. And so anyway, just thought you might be interested in seeing that. Really cool. Nexus, the newspaper strips, Volume 1. The Coming of Gormando or Gomondo. Okay, looks like maybe a Galactus type figure. Okay, Nexus is Galactus. There you go. Okay, all right. Now on to the comic haul. Bunch of dollar books here that I was really happy to get. First one being one that I've been looking for, wanting to get back in my collection for a while because it is a very cool first. It turned out in this case to be an affordable first. Go ahead and take that tape off before something bad happens. And see, I can put that right there. Okay. This is A-Next #1. Okay, so the next group of Avengers in the Spider-Girl universe. We'll call it the Spider-Girl universe because I don't know its number. This is, of course, 1998 publication. DeFalco and Friends and Company, and just very, very cool. Brett Breeding doing the inking on that, I believe. So lots of fun, lots of good stuff to read. This was, even in its time, even in 1998, this was a throwback to fun comics that you could read. See all the words? It wasn't taken up by splash pages, double spread splash pages every 2 turns. So anyway, very, very cool to find that in a dollar box in high grade. Next was, this is going to take some time because I'm going to take them all out of the bags. And since I didn't really hype anything that's coming, everything's a surprise. Every book's a surprise. I'm going back and getting these Marvel's comics group where the comic book characters were tweaked a bit. And this is a 2000 publication. This is Beware the Daredevil. In this case, Daredevil was an actual demon, I believe. And I haven't read it yet, but I've got the Fantastic Four, and I've got, I'm trying to think of the other ones. I've got the Spider-Man one, and I've got 1 or 2 others. I don't remember which ones. I think the Captain America. I have that one. And so those were fun. I like the alternate takes on classic characters. This is one of my favorites from my from my collecting career, hobby, life. I've since let go of this series, except for a few key issues. But this one I went ahead and picked back up because it's the first issue of a very cool character. This is Namor, Namor the Submariner, number 8, first appearance of Headhunter. Headhunter was a very cool villain who hung heads of corporate enemies, corporate combatants, whatever they call it, on her wall. I'll leave it to you to seek it out and find out how she did that, because I'm never one to give away a very cool story point. But anyway, first appearance of a cool character. She was an albino who wore those freaky razor blades on her fingers, and it's very cool. All right, so I like that. I also like the title on the story title on the lower right hand corner. Heads I win. So very cool there. All right, next I'm just going to go through these next few kind of quickly, because these are books that if I find for $1, I pretty much grab them and I hang on to them and end up flipping them, because like it or not, there are some Rob Liefeld fans out there.
How dare you?
And though I'm not one, I do pick these up when I find them. These are early New Mutants. So New Mutants 93, his first meeting with Wolverine. New Mutants 92, all Rob Liefeld covers and art inside. Now look, I don't have to like somebody's work to recognize the collectability of it. All right, New Mutants number 91. Okay, Cable goes up against Sabretooth. New Mutants 90 and New Mutants 89 as Cable goes up against the Freedom Force. Okay, otherwise known as, at least a couple of them, otherwise known as the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Phase 2. Okay, all right, next is a copy of Thor 312, and when I first looked at it, I thought, oh my goodness, this is it's a really nice copy. Very high grade when I saw it, even through the plastic, as you look at that. And I think, wow, what a great, bright, new-looking copy. And then I noticed, wait a minute, that McFarlane Spider-Man emblem, that's out of time. That's from a different era than this Doug Mensch, Keith Pollard work that was originally published in 1981. Okay, what this is one of the JCPenney reprints, and I like getting these whenever I find them. I like the fact of finding one for $1, you know, and that's fun. But these kind of rare reprints, and while there's nothing really special about that book, that may be, I guess that could be the first appearance of Tyr. I don't even know, but the JCPenney reprints themselves were kind of rare, and so that was neat to find that, and it is a nice copy. And so anyway, let's slide that back down in there. So that was a fun book to find in Dollar Box. All right, another one of my favorite iterations of the Fantastic Four is the team of the Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, the Grey Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine. And I did find that first appearance, Fantastic Four number 347, for $1. And considering I think they're doing something else with them recently, with that alternate Fantastic Four, it was just kind of a neat find. Now, I believe I looked that up. I believe that is the first appearance of that team. I'm going to say it is, because it starts with the original team in the story, and the other team comes together in the story. So, first appearance of that alternate Fantastic Four. And so for $1, yeah, I was glad to get that. I have it already. I actually have a copy signed by Arthur Adams, which I got at a Tulsa Def Con years ago. Now, a couple of these, I won't take these out. They're in high grade. But these are just neat books to have for $1. And even though I've got them, they're neat to have for trade, or for times that they take an even steeper upswing. But Batman Black and White number 2, the first volume of Batman Black and White work. And then Batman Black and White number 4. There was an issue number 3 there, but it had a really deep spine tick in the center, and I left it for somebody else, who in that case of that book wasn't so much in it for the condition. I wanted them for the condition. I have them to read already. And then I found a book that I didn't really even know existed. I have the first 2 issues of this character, which I don't know what Hollywood. I don't know what I was reading something that was on the cover. I don't know what Marvel had in mind for this character at first. That was first published in 1997. But I liked the character. I liked the story when it first came out. I finally found her first appearance a while back, and I have issues 1 and 2. And here is issue 3 of Ultra Girl. Oh, I didn't take it out. Ultra Girl. I should know who does this art. I'll look it up here in a minute. Marvel's sassiest powerhouse. Okay, so before all these other Marvel ladies were sassy, Ultra Girl was sassy first.
Sassy.
And see who does the art on this. Who does it? Barbara Casel, writer. So you got solid writing, and Leonard Kirk, penciler. Okay, I know the name. Okay, but I just remember really enjoying the character when she first came out. Here's a good panel shot of the character there. Okay, and hanging out with the New Warriors. So yeah, Ultra Girl number 3. I don't know how many issues that series went. I may have the entire issues or the entire series there with those 3 issues, but we'll see, because I'm going to research that a little bit more. Now, a couple more very cool finds here. This is the last issue of a mini-series that I've been waiting to read, because I didn't want to. I'm old school. I didn't want to just get it on eBay. I wanted to go ahead and find it in the wild, and it wasn't one of those things that I was willing to pay for just 1 issue, shipping and all that stuff. I thought, one day it'll turn up in a cheap box, $1.50, and it did. This is issue 4 of a 6-issue series. Now I can read the whole thing again, or read the whole thing finally. And this is Fantastic Four: First Family. And what I recall of this, because I did read the first couple of issues and then stopped when I realized I didn't have the whole series, the whole miniseries. This seems to have been done in kind of a. I'm just going to say this: be prepared to be wrong, but I seem to remember does it more from the kind of a Saturday Night Monster movie type vibe to it. More of the unfortunate aspects of their powers and becoming the Fantastic Four. Now, I may have it mixed up with something else, but I'll read it and kind of, I think I'm probably even maybe going to do a little short video on it, because I recall the first couple of issues being very intriguing and really waiting that long. It never went out of my mind to get the issue I didn't have. And so very excited now to read that and see what that was all about. All right, this next one is simply this is a Silver Surfer annual from 1991. It is a Ron Mars, and think of the artist name here in a moment. Ron Mars and Ron Lim, Silver Surfer annual number 4. Okay, and it's part of the Korvac saga. Okay, very cool cover. Silver Surfer gets the Negabands and goes up against the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, not the Guardians of the Galaxy of the movie, but the Guardians of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, the ones that are the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, not like the movies, but these are these would have been hard to translate to the movie screen. I've always known that, and they picked a good crew. They picked a good group to be for the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was good that they didn't try to revert back to this. But anyway, for comics, though, these are my favorite Guardians. These are the Guardians of the Galaxy of the comics, as far as I'm concerned. So, anyway, so there's that. Okay. A few more books here. One more comic book. And then the rest are kind of more trade or bookshelf format. Now, I was really glad to find this. All of us having lost George Perez so recently. I was really glad to find this in the dollar box in fairly high grade. This is it's a Fanico's Chronicles number 4. These are kind of hard to find. I have a few of these Fanico's Chronicles publications, but this one's special. This has a George Perez cover. This is a Avengers issue. George Perez cover, and it's actually a double cover with some heroes and villains on the back, and the main Avengers on the front. But so kind of very cool to find that. Just kind of some neat articles and art, and just a typical comics trade magazine of the 80s, 1982 to be exact. But very cool cover, some early Perez there, and very glad to have that. Very, very glad. All right. Okay, this next is a bookshelf format book that I was really glad to find for $1. I mean, this is a John Arcudi writer, Scott Eaton art publication project. This is JLA Super Power. I've never even heard of this, but it does introduce, I think it introduces a new character, okay? I think this guy right here, let's see, what is it? Mark Antius, maybe. And so, anyway, just one of those, I'll read you the blurb on the back. Mark Antius is as powerful as Superman, as selfless as Batman, as righteous as Aquaman, and more compassionate, perhaps, than any of them. His vision is, like the JLA's, a world with justice for all, and he's willing to fight hard for that goal. But is there such a thing as too much justice? There's a back image there. I've never seen this book before, and so it's kind of intriguing. And for $1, I mean, can you really go wrong for a bookshelf format book for $1? And it was published in 1999, and it is a self-contained story. And so good stuff there. Can't wait to read that. That ought to be interesting at the very least. So there's that. Now, a few trade paperbacks. I'll start with these first of all. These were all $4 a piece. Batman Year 2, Fear the Reaper. Very, very happy to find this. It's not the first trade paperback, not the first iteration, but it is a reprint, a later edition of the trade. But I don't care. Great story with amazing Alan Davis art, early Todd McFarlane art, and I loved McFarlane's Batman. Mike W. Barr writing, and so I showed my oldest son, who loves a lot of the McFarlane Batman. We both like the McFarlane Batman figures, as you can tell behind me. But showed him this image of McFarlane's Batman early on. And he just, of course, what's not to like? That's very, very cool. You can see, you can kind of see where Spawn came from in a sense there with the large flowing cape. Love these images, and so. You just can't go wrong there. So really neat to have that. Grab that for $4. Also for $4. Speaking of McFarlane art, the incredible Marvel Visionaries Peter David Volume 2, which has the famous Wolverine Hulk rematch. Forget even what issue number that is because I've given up. Issue 340. Incredible Hulk 340. That book has elevated to a point where I'm not really expecting to have it again, but having the reprint is the next best thing, and a lot more McFarlane Hulk artwork or Hulk work along with it. And so great stuff there. Again, for $4, I'm not complaining. And then lastly, and certainly not leastly, I know that's not a word, but I just thought I'd go ahead and throw it in there. Something I heard of the character before, but not this, not this particular work. Now, the Cisco Kid was a character beloved of radio, TV, and movies already by 1951, but in 1951 began Rod Reed and Jose Luis Salinas started a newspaper strip, the Cisco Kid, and the art in here is amazing. Here's a really cool, first of all, a picture on the back cover of Jose Salinas at work at the drawing table with some of his Cisco Kid work there. But here's a look at some of the interior black and white art, which is just gorgeous. And I can't wait to tear into that book. And obviously not literally, but can't wait to read that and get into that. Just a lot of neat artwork there. And I love the old West stuff anyway. And there's not very many Western comics that I like, but I do have my faves, and so that looks like it could end up being one of them. So anyway, that's it. That's my haul, and I hope you enjoyed it. A bunch of dollar comics and some cheap trades. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And so anyway, that's it. Hey, if you like what you see, here. If you like what you heard, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and hit the like button. But otherwise, come back again and watch some more four-color commentary. You might learn something or just be entertained. Maybe learn about a comic you didn't know about, or a comics property you didn't previously know about, or just be entertained by the antics of some old bald guy. Otherwise, we'll see you next video.